All right, take 67. We're back, and we're again trying to get this video done for the Vengeance story arc. You know who I am, and this is my little brother, Demetrius.
Hello.
He's here to help me because I got to tell you, I tried talking to the monitor and doing like a video blog, and I got to tell you, I felt pretty stupid. So I feel like when I'm talking to another human being, the story flows a little bit easier. So we're gonna do this in a couple 5 to 7 minute segments. Here we go. All right. So you've already read the story of Vengeance. I'm not going to waste your time going over it again. We're going to start back at the beginning. Back during the beginning of creation, okay? Prior to the formation of Earth as you know it. Now, this all starts effectively on a planet called Maori. All right?
Is Maori in our galaxy?
Maori is not in our galaxy. Maori is in a, to completely steal the phrase, a galaxy far, far away. So, before we get too far into it, you got to understand some of the concepts I have for this book. There's going to be a lot of references to angels, demons, the fallen, God. Let me go ahead and just and put some of those in context for you. There is no good and evil as far as angels and the fallen are considered. It's not, these guys are good because they're angels and these guys are bad because they're the fallen. None of that. It's the war in heaven was a political statement more than anything. That being said, God did not necessarily create the heavens and the earth here on earth. He controls more of the planetary design of the entire universe. If perhaps a planet which is already there is in the way, God can have it. He can destroy it. If a planet is causing damage, irreparable damage, he can come in. He can destroy the people without destroying the entire planet, thus leaving all its wealth intact. So let's talk real quick before we get to the whole Maori in the beginning. God is not a he or she, and I'm not arrogant enough to say that this story is going to be filled with me talking about, well, God said this and God said that. Not a lot of that going on at all. More than anything, the true main characters of this story are Lucifer and Michael.
Is Lucifer the devil?
Okay, great question. Lucifer is not the devil as we understand here on earth. Okay, Lucifer was the morning star. He was God's right-hand man. He was his go-to guy. And in my story, Lucifer is a general of the Legion. He is the supreme general. Right under him is Michael and Gabriel. Beneath them are the 7 archangels, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and ultimately the Legion.
What's the Legion?
The Legion is literally an army of angels, 10,000 plus.
So it's like 300, but for angels.
Yeah, I don't know if there's Diesel, but
they gotta be his Diesel.
Whatever, King Leonidas, angel, whatever. So God does things in this story typically logically, not necessarily as emotionally as the Old Testament tries to portray God.
It's not as personal.
Yeah, God doesn't care that the people of some Middle Eastern crappy city disrespected him, so now he has to destroy the city and turn people into pillars of salt. Doesn't work like that. If people are being destroyed, it's because of a planetary design that God has got going on.
Okay, so he's bigger than just like individuals and whatnot.
Absolutely. Now you asked a question. It's going to be jumping ahead just a little bit, but I want to knock it out. I want to address your question. The question was, is Lucifer the devil? Lucifer is not the devil. In the story, Lucifer befriends an observer angel. All angels have an MOS, if you will, a trade craft. They all have a purpose. He befriends an observer angel whose job it is to observe and communicate with different moons and planets. That angel's name is Anubis. Now, that name may ring a bell for some of you. Obviously, Anubis is the ancient Egyptian god of the lord of the underworld. So that person, that Anubis, is actually Earth's devil. Again, jumping ahead, when the fallen are cast out of heaven,
Earth's heaven, right?
no, the fallen are tossed out of heaven. Heaven it spans the universe. So every planet has a heaven and a hell.
Mm-hmm.
So when the fallen are tossed out of heaven and pushed into what was previously just a purgatory, Earth's hell was just a purgatory. It was never designed to be a hell.
Not torment.
Right.
Okay.
And we'll get to this, but ultimately Anubis convinces Lucifer that Lucifer now has to be in charge of the hells across the entire universe. He leaves Anubis in charge of Earth's hell.
So every planet has a hell, but every planet's heaven is the same. So there's multiple hells on one heaven.
Not necessarily. Think of it more along the lines of a heaven for every planet and a hell for every planet. However, you can't change realms. You can't go from Earth or from a planet in our dimension to hell and then back to heaven. The only way you can do that are through the portals.
So it's 3 different planes of existence.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can't just run around willy-nilly and such. There are ways to do it, and those are going to become super important in the story. But we will ultimately get to that. But we've reached the 7-minute, 30-second mark. Let's go ahead and stop this one and start the next one.